I end in part 5. The machine was certain and sufficient as a rosebush. So I was saying sufficient, maybe a reference to shenty, is a kilt or loincloth. Also horizontal island, which there are some off the Northern Territory of Australia, but probably relates to Crocodopolus or whatever it's called. I thought maybe there was some sort of suggestion of a link to Scotland because of the reference to a kilt, but also a biblical reference to David's linen ephod and dancing, possibly the suggestion of a festival associated with the flood. It could also be fitting, as in sufficient, to make something ready. And I found in the Scarlet Letter, re Hester, which could be Esther or a star who has sinned. Hawthorne narrates, this rosebush, by strange chance, has been kept alive in history, but whatever it has merely survived out of the stern of wilderness, so long after the fall of the gigantic pines and oaks that originally overshadowed it. I haven't read it all, but I was just trying to find some references to do with the rosebush, which links to Mary. Indifferently justifying the aimless parasite. So to be indifferent, one of the words is cavalier, which was a supporter of King Charles I. It could also be a horseman, as in one of the 4 horsemen, or a knight in tarot. So the parasite could be flea, bass, lice, lysander. And justifying is like applying justice or the judgment, like in tarot card or the Book of Judges. Then aimless is wandering. So I don't like this terminology, but what it came to for me was like this idea of the wandering Jew. And I think that's because whoever the Fleabas character is Jewish. I don't think that, I don't know if Eliot meant that was a parasite. I have read he was accused of anti-Semitism. I don't think that's real. I think there's so much esoteric stuff underneath all of this that it would be misinterpreted. So there's the legend in the Floris Historiarum by Roger of Wendover, 1228, under the title of the Jew Joseph, who is still alive, waiting the last coming of Christ. The central figure is named Cartaphilus, which could relate to this sort of car in America, before being baptized later by Ananias as Joseph. So the root of that name could be translated roughly as dearly and loved, as in the disciple who Jesus loved, also known as the Jewish shoemaker, which could relate to shoe. And then I just thought this was funny. The name Butterdeus, as in butt cheeks, also relates to a similar thing. A combination of the Latin batuere, to beat or strike, along with the word for God, Deus. So John 21:20-23. And Peter, turning about, seeth the disciple following whom Jesus loved, who had also leaned on his breast at the supper, and had said, Lord, which is he who betrayeth thee? When therefore Peter saw him, he said to Jesus, Lord, and what shall he do? Jesus said to him, if I will that he would remain till I come, what is that to thee? Mind your own fucking business. Follow thou me. Then this saying went forth among the brethren, that this disciple would not die.